got the boards cut out and put the two halves together and made them the same and everything, and basically went ahead and did the cuts that I needed in the door and all that. But anyway, when I was getting them on before I make the final hole cuts and all that stuff, I'm just kind of looking at them. It's getting real tight, so I'm definitely gonna. I also want some negative areas. Might be a pain when it comes to putting the fleece on and everything, but I just thought it would look a little better, so I made some changes. I'm gonna give it one more iteration. I might have to go with a single 8 and a tweeter. These are just getting, let's see, it's getting really close to that divider line. I mean, that's almost no room. So I'm gonna cut it down a little bit there, also down here, all the so that might give me a little more room, but otherwise I might just have to do that or push the 8 over and do something more like that. But I'm really trying to keep it more vertical than that way, just so it's going to be aiming at the open cab and not a seat. The other thing, I'm also going to cut this. I had kind of a tail like I used to. I'm just going to cut it and let the fleece do all the work. So, see how round 2 goes. Alright, so got them ready to go to the next step. Got the holes drilled for the router, so I can do the countersink and then cut the holes. The first thing I'm going to do is, and it's easier to do before you do the holes in my opinion, is I'm going to round off the outside edges of both of these. That way you don't have any hard edge when you are applying the fleece. So I'm going to do that. The other thing I did, and you can always do it separate, but I basically clamped these together and drilled through them with my drill press, so the holes will be in the same spot for each one. So I want to keep it as close as possible. So anyway, I'm going to round this out, do the countersinks. I'm not sure if I'm going to countersink the tweeters, simply because one, it's going to be really close to the edge, but two, because of the router that I have, I don't even know if the Jasper rig that I'm using will go that small. Luckily they're only like maybe 1/8 of an inch tall, but I am going to countersink the 6.5s and also the 8 mid base. So I'm going to do all that to these 2 panels and then the mid base panels, and then I'll be ready to start putting it on the door. Alright, so I got the pieces rounded off, all 4, so they're all rounded. And now what I've done is I have put them a couple screws into just a piece of crap board that I don't care about, and I'm going to start doing the routing. So the first thing I'm going to do is the inset, so they'll be flush mount, and then once I do that on all 4 of the mid speakers, then I'll go through and then cut the actual circle, and then I'll repeat the process on the 8-inch mid bass. So what I'm doing, since it's a 6.5 speaker, I'm actually going, and my first cut is going to be 6 9/16, so it's going to be just over 6.5. That way it won't like be super duper tight. And so I'll just go from there and then make the actual cut, and then I'll show you how that looks when it's done. Alright, so quick update. So I got all the flushing done on the ring, But I ran into an issue, and not everyone's going to have this issue if you're using a Jasper rig, but I don't have, I guess, the correct router. I have a Porter cable, and it doesn't quite fit it right, so let me show you. So basically, you can see that some of those holes are covered, and some of those holes are what I would need to make the actual cutout for the 6.5. So what I'm gonna have to do is I have my kind of like go-to cheapo Harbor Freight, and I basically put a bit on it and made sure it lined up with my old cuts, and I'm just gonna basically clear out all of this before and then basically just jigsaw the hole and go from there. So yeah, I gotta clear out all this and then jigsaw. It's a kind of a pain, but whatever.